Welcome to The Pottery, the interactive podcast where real life gets honest, creative, and hopeful, one journal prompt at a time. I'm Tess, potter, survivor, and your straight-talking guide for healthy boundaries and joyful living. If you're new here, here's the basics. The Pottery is a hands and heart-on experience, so keep your journals close. If you don't have the Pottery journal yet, any notebook works, and whenever you hear this sound, that's your cue to pause and write honestly, no overthinking. Today's episode is one just about everyone needs: emotional boundaries. We're diving into why saying no can feel so hard, what gets in the way, and how learning boundaries changes everything. I'll share my story, give you some prompts, and guide you to set a few boundaries of your own, with some music, moments of laughter, and maybe even a tough love nudge along the way. Are you ready? If so, grab your journal, get cozy, and let's shape something new together. Only write when you're in a safe space. There's no breakthrough worth risking your bumper. So don't journal while driving or doing anything dangerous. Remember, every time you hear this sound, it's your sign to pick up your pen and reflect. Before we dive in, I want you to flip back to last week's notes, or that first journal page that you filled out. Remember when we listed and let go of those draining obligations, and you circled something that you wanted to make space for, like my daughter Caitlin did with her baking. Take a look. Have you done anything with the new space that you created? Maybe you scratched something off and you found yourself thinking about an old passion or something you'd love to pick up again. I want you to go back and take a look. Have you done anything with the new space that you've created? Maybe you scratched something off and you found yourself thinking about an old passion or something you'd love to pick up again. Did you take even a tiny action toward it? Did you try? Or does it just keep popping up in your head? If you haven't moved yet, don't feel bad, no guilt. I just want you to notice. This is a gentle nudge. Add a note, draw a star, or jot down one next action that you could take, big or small, to move closer to what matters most to you. Every small step, and every time you revisit your list, it's progress. If something new sparked for you this week, write it down right now. I want you to celebrate it. Even if it's just a thought, a conversation, or a single small step. That's how we keep moving forward, one honest action at a time. Now let's get real about boundaries. When I was first diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, it was right in the middle of a whirlwind busy season of my life. Now picture an A-type person, juggling contracts with big companies, running on ambition, and always saying yes to being the go-to person. I got things done, and I liked being relied on. Honestly, I measured myself by how much I could handle. No matter how loud, my body was screaming at me to take a break. Here's the thing. My struggle with the word no, it wasn't about pleasing people, especially my family. It was never about that. My real struggle was refusing to honor my own limits. I was trying to always power through no matter how loud my body was screaming for rest. Because as my MS progressed, my body and my mind started to work differently. Much, much differently. I slowed down. I lost my edge and job opportunities that I wanted to do because they became harder and harder for me to do. Even in the hospital or the nursing home, I tried to keep up, refusing to admit a no was needed, even for myself. If you're burning out because your life is changing, or because you're clinging to an old pace. You're not alone. Sometimes boundaries aren't about saying no to other people. They're about finally saying yes to yourself. Let's put pen to paper. I want you to write about a time that you said yes, not out of people-pleasing, but out of habit, ambition, or fear of letting go. What did it cost you? Physically, mentally? If you need more time, hit pause and come back whenever you need. Let's break this guilt wide open. It seeps in, even for the strong, independent people. Whether it's about work, reputation, or just wanting to be unstoppable, guilt loves to piggyback on change. I remember losing sleep for 2 straight nights over nothing more than telling a client that I couldn't take on extra work. It wasn't about them. It was about not wanting to admit my own limits had changed. Jot this down. Where does guilt show up when you say no? Is it in your body? Is it a stomach knot? Tense shoulders? Something in your mind? Or maybe a relationship? Name it. I want you to write that down. Where does guilt show up when you say no? How does it make you feel? Take me there. Take me to that moment and write that down. Not having boundaries drains you faster than anything else. I've wasted money and energy solving problems that weren't even mine, just so no one would notice. I was slowing down. The cost? Well, the cost was my health, my peace, and time, and I'll never get that back. I can get my health somewhat back, right? I've been working on it. My peace can come and go, but time you'll never get back. That is an ungivable gift. Here's a real life check, guys. Have you ever agreed to something out of habit? Not happiness, but habit. Volunteered for a group, a project, or a favor, just because it was easier to say yes? If so, that is definitely a spot where a boundary is needed. Make a note. What's one request or responsibility in your life right now that is crying out for a boundary? What about it feels tricky or hard for you? Here's the truth. Boundaries are not walls. They're clarity. No is not rejection. It's protection. Want some examples? I'll give you some. How about trying, instead of just saying no, get creative? I'm not able to do that right now. It's simple, straightforward, to the point. Or, I need today to myself, but let's check in soon. My energy's already spoken for, but thank you for understanding. Jot this down. What's one area in your life that's begging for a boundary? Try writing it out. What you'd actually say to draw that line. In other words, I want you to write a boundary right now. Write out your no. If you have to pause to take some time to really think about it. Or even just say them out loud and practice it a little bit. See which one feels good to you, and then write it down. Write down a couple, but write out what you would actually say if you put up a boundary and somebody asked you to do something that crosses that boundary. Write what you would say for your no or your boundary. I can't do that right now. I'm not able to do that right now. I need today for myself. Let's get practical. Saying no takes practice. Together, let's try a few boundary scripts. Thank you, but my plate is full right now. Same with me. I'll say it, write them down, and then maybe pause and practice saying them. I can imagine it might feel a little good to do. Thank you, but my plate is full right now. That's a good one. Or, I wish I could help, but I need to save that energy for myself. I can't do that this week, but maybe another time. Now, jot down your own script for a situation you know you need a boundary. Read it out loud. Right now. Yes, right now, really. And I want you to notice how it feels. What's tense? What feels like relief? Write that down. What works for you? Now here's a bonus challenge. I want you to make a note. Physical, emotional, even if you feel silly, who cares? This is for you. Nobody else. That's growth in progress. Before you start, just promise me you're somewhere you can be safe and still. No driving, no multitasking. Give yourself this moment just for you. Now, close your eyes. And in your mind, I want you to reach down and pick up a magical crayon. Any color you love. Maybe pink with sparkles, purple, a swirl of favorite shades maybe. Or maybe each part of your family is their own color. It's your crayon, do it your way. Now, with this crayon in hand, start drawing a soft, glowing line on the ground around your feet. As your hand moves, I want you to imagine the color changing. A little for you, a little for each person that you hold dear. Maybe you even see their favorite colors right there in the arc of your circle. Keep tracing it. Bigger, brighter, building upward till you're wrapped in a beautiful, radiant glow. This is your boundary, your protection, your safety. This is your power and your self-worth. As your circle closes, I want you to feel the gentle light wash over you, cradling your toes, your legs, your heart, all the way up over your head. Let the glow settle into your bones. Soft tingles, deep comfort, a kind of secure warmth that makes you breathe a little deeper, a little lighter, and freer than you have in too long. Open your gaze in your mind and see the faces of those you love most. Who's out there? Is it your children? Your partner? Maybe your grandkids? Or your siblings, maybe? Or is it your soul friends? See their smiles, their hope, their trust in you. Now I want you to notice, as you look at them, that they're happy for you. As you look at their faces, their actions, you can see that they're happy for you. They're excited that you can be fully present, fully alive to love them back. They are safe too, because your light is bright. This is exactly why you want to protect this boundary, to keep your circle glowing. Every bit of love you give, every yes you offer, comes from the brilliance inside this circle. It's not just about you, it's about giving them your best and keeping yourself whole. Now imagine the little taps on your boundary, the requests, the demands, the old guilt, and the shoulds or the obligations. In this space, gently call to your mind your list from episode 1. All those invisible weights, all those yeses you crossed off or wanted to set down. Don't open your journal, I just want you to remember them. This first obligation, recall that to your mind. And if you can't remember, just think of one as best as you can. But the first obligation. Then think of the second. And what was the third? With each one you recall, notice how the color dims just a touch. The pink gets pale, the gold dulls just a little, and the sparkle fades. And as you remember more, your glow flickers and it dims further until you realize you don't feel as light or as free, as loving. That's what happens every time you give away your light for things that don't fill your life or serve those that you love most. Soon you might be bright at only 50% or just a sliver, a shadow of your full bright self. You are not meant to live dimmed. You are worthy of glowing, of feeling that warmth, safety, and power all the way through. Remember this: loving yourself is loving them. The stronger your light, the more your circle glows, the more your loved ones will benefit. The best version of you lives inside of this boundary. Don't give away your glow. Protect it for your sake and for theirs. Now I want you to take a moment and feel truly what it means to love and protect yourself this way. Take a moment and feel, truly feel what it means to love and protect yourself in this way. If you're able to, get out your journals at this point or something that you're writing on and jot this down when you're ready. What color was your circle as you built it? Who was beside you, smiling? What changes for you and for them when you decide to keep that light bright? What old pattern do you want to release so you never dim yourself for guilt or obligation again? When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, feeling lighter, stronger, and absolutely worth protecting. You know, I want to be transparent with you. I've never really struggled to set boundaries, just for the sake of it. I'm a straight shooter by nature, and when it comes to things like hosting parties, for an example, some people would see saying no as a triumph of self-care, but me, honestly, I would be honored if anyone asked me to host a family event. I love bringing everyone together. But here's where the boundaries show up differently for me. Because of my MS, I know what I can and cannot do. So if somebody were to come to me and say, for example, my daughter maybe, "Mom, can you throw a party?" I would say, simply, honestly and clear, absolutely, I would love to. However, here's the deal. I'm going to need some help. There are things I just simply cannot do alone, and if everybody can pitch in, fantastic. If not, I'll still be able to come and I'll still celebrate. I'm just going to have to pass the torch on to somebody else to do the planning. Because for me, boundary setting isn't shutting somebody out or saying no for the sake of it. It's actually inviting people in, but making sure I'm not going to run myself ragged or put my health at risk. It's making sure that everyone is clear on the limits and reality so that I can also enjoy and contribute and keep my joy front and center. I want you to try something. Think of a situation where you want to say yes, but you need clarity, help, or support for it to be healthy and joyful. Now I want you to write your yes, and here's what I need statement. For example, yes, I would love to, and here's what I need to make it work for me. I want you to let this empower you. Boundaries don't always have to just say no. They also make your yeses possible and full of joy, energy, and honesty. Boundaries clear space for joy, not just rest. When I let myself say no, I found more time for pottery, for fun, time with my grandkids. That was the most important thing. Belly laughs, lots and lots of dancing, and real rest. What joy do you hope making more room in your life will bring in? Really think about that. For just a moment, what joy do you hope that making more room in your life will bring in? Give that a good thought and jot that down. What is something that you've really wanted to welcome back into your life that you've missed? Is it something maybe you learned from our episode last week? Or try something new that could bring you so much happiness that you've just not had room for? Next week, more on boundaries. Don't miss it. And sometime this month, I'll be out in the wild for a special field trip episode. Flipping labels, uncovering the good, the bad, and the what the heck is that on the products that we use every day. I never know exactly which week it'll air, so check in each week for the adventure. You never know what you'll learn or laugh at next. And before we wrap up for today, I want to give you a heads up about what's coming next week. One you absolutely won't want to miss. We're peeling back the curtain on the real source of so much daily exhaustion, the mental load. If you've ever wondered why your brain never truly shuts off, or why you still feel tired, even after setting boundaries and saying no, the next week's episode is for you. We'll shine some light on all that invisible behind-the-scenes work, emotional labor, remembering everything and carrying everyone, and how you can finally actively lighten the load. So get ready for honest stories, practical tools, and permission to put something down for good. And remember, sometime this month, you'll get a special field trip episode. Could drop any week, so make sure you're checking in regularly. There might be label flips, surprising discoveries, or honest talk from the real world. Journal at the ready, as always. And if you've ever wanted a little extra support between episodes, I've got bonus mantras, meditations, and uplifting tools for you over at my YouTube channel. Just search for Mantra Mud. Remember to put in the 2 Ds, or just visit youtube.com/mantramud. These extra goodies are always there for you, but don't trade them for your time here. I want you to come back to the pottery for our weekly deep dives. And if you'd like to pick up a journal for yourself, remember you can find that on our website, mantramud.com. Click the link that says podcast and get your copy. Now today you showed up for yourself, explored new boundaries, and made space for what and who you love, starting with you. You can find more support, journaling prompts, and ways to connect at mantramud.com or reach out at thepottery@mantramud.com. Every step toward better health, a stronger mind, and a more motivated life is an absolute victory. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, pushing forward, and never giving up on yourself. You have the power to grow, to heal, and to thrive. So keep believing and keep moving. And most of all, I want you to keep becoming the best version of you. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and take care of yourself.
Mitsana Ekaporeyasano.
A healthy mind and a healthy body. Keep journaling, and I'll see you next week on The Pottery.